A very good morning to all of you, my dear students. Welcome all of you to my Prerana YT classes. Today in this class, we are going to discuss about one of the most eminent area of study of political science honors that comes under the +3 first semester system, that is the core paper 2, Constitutional Government and Democracy of India. Students, you know constitutional government and democracy in India, this is one of the most broadest area of study of political science honors, where we are discussing about the different topics of Indian constitutions and its different provisions in Indian political system. So today's main topic is vested in the ground of analyzing the Parliament of India, where we are going to discuss about its bicameral provision, the organization, composition, session, quorum, election and power and functions, and most important role played by the two important houses of Indian Parliament, that is the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And students, you also know this provision has come under part 5th of our Indian Constitution, from Article 79 to Article 122. So let us analyze this important area of study now, that is the Parliament of India. And in this topic, first of all, we should have to highlight on the parliamentary provision, the parliamentary democracy of India and its most importance in Indian context. Thereafter, we will analyze about the organization, composition of both these two important houses, their election and most important ground of power and functions. So students, as you know, एक ही वीडियो में पॉसिबल नहीं होगा ये सब कुछ डिस्कशन करने के लिए, तो आई हैव डिवाइडेड इनटू टू इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट्स. Basically, in the first part, it is vested to analyze the parliamentary democracy, its importance, and most importantly, I have analyzed the two houses, their composition, organization, and their election, power and functions. And the second important part is vested to analyze about the most specifically the power and functions of Rajya Sabha. And thereafter, one more video will also come in the next period of time, which will be discussing about the power and functions of Lok Sabha. So hope you understand all these aspects of our study. If there will be any kind of doubts, always share with me. And if you like this video, if you are getting benefits out of all this, so please provide your comments, share it among your friends, so that I will be more inspired in my effort. And if you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe it. Okay, so without lapsing our time, let us move towards the present structure of our study, which has been vested in the ground of analyzing the Parliament of India. So shall you start, students? Okay. The Parliament of India, the Union Legislature, that is the Constitution of India, provides for a Union Parliament having the authority to exercise legislative powers over all subjects of Union list, concurrent list, and all residuary subjects. The Union Parliament, you know, it is a bicameral legislature, and this bicameral provision, it has been borrowed from where? Government of India Act 1935. Government of India Act 1935, students, you should have to know, this is known as the blueprint of Indian Constitution. क्यों कहा जाता है इसको ब्लूप्रिंट ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन? क्योंकि बहुत सारे ऐसा ही इम्पोर्टेंट प्रोविजंस है जिसको हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मेकर्स ने बोरो किए हैं from the Government of India Act 1935. So among those, bicameralism of legislature, federal provision, और भी बहुत सारे important provisions है जिसको आगे हम लोग डिस्कशन करेंगे. तो Government of India Act 1935 की this is one of the most important contribution you may see तो स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पर याद रखना, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 को ब्लू प्रिंट ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कहा जाता है। एमसीक्यू में आ सकता है, तो इसको याद रखना। तो पार्लियामेंट ऑफ इंडिया which is known as the legislative organ of the union government, which comes under the 5th part of Indian constitution starting from article 79 to article 122, which has been empowered to make legislation over all subjects of union list, concurrent list and residuary subjects. So you know the Parliament of India, it has two important houses, that is the lower house and the upper house. The lower house is known as the House of the People, that is known as the later period of the time as Lok Sabha, and the upper house, that is the Council of States, which is known as the House, that is the Rajya Sabha. And most importantly, here we will see their important organization, composition and their session, tenure, quorum in this video today. So students, let us understand first of all the Union Parliament. तो स्टूडेंट्स, आप लोगों को पता होगा कि इंडियन पार्लियामेंट जो है, जिसको हम यूनियन लेजिस्लेचर कहते हैं, इट ऑक्युपाइज ए वेरी एमिनेंट प्लेस and central position in the Indian democratic political system. Why? What's the reason behind it? Yes, because you know it also, Indian constitution makers, they have borrowed parliamentary form of government, which is popularly known as Westminster model of government also. From which country? Yes, from England. हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मेकर्स ने पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी को अडॉप्ट किए हैं ब्रिटेन से, इंग्लैंड से, which is known as the motherland of parliamentary democracy. That's why Indian Parliament is the most important organ, legislative organ of union government, which occupies a very eminent place, central position in the Indian democratic political system. But student, you know there is a difference. Of course, we have borrowed this parliamentary provision from Britain, but Britain Parliament, its power, its position, its sovereignty, its supreme role, it's not like that of India, or our Indian Parliament is not like that of British Parliament. Why? Because Union Parliament of India doesn't have sovereignty, doesn't have sovereign power, doesn't have supreme power as like that of Britain Parliament. Of course, it has a very centric position in democratic political system. Of course, we have adopted parliamentary democracy. Still, Indian Parliament doesn't have sovereign power. But if you analyze the British political system, the British Parliament has sovereign and supreme power, but Indian Parliament doesn't have. Do you know what's the reason behind it? Yes. India is a federal state, and Indian constitution, it is written one. We have a written constitution. हमारे पास एक लिखित संविधान है, और हमारे जो पार्लियामेंटेरियंस हैं, जब भी लॉ मेक करते हैं, जब भी लेजिस्लेशन के स्फीयर में आते हैं, they are bound to follow the basic fundamentals of our Indian constitution. They have to follow our constitution because our constitution is written one. They are bound to follow it. Otherwise, judiciary is there to interpret that law. If they will not follow the constitution, that law will be declared as ultra vires, unconstitutional and null and void. So for this reason, Indian Parliament is not supreme, it is not sovereign as like that of British Parliament. But British Parliament is supreme one, sovereign one. It play a very important role in British political system. Because the reason is they do not have a written constitution like that of India. तो समझ में आया, उनके पास रिटन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं है, उसी की वजह से उनका जो पार्लियामेंट है सॉवरेन है और सुप्रीम है, बट हमारे पास एक रिटन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है जिसको देखकर ही पार्लियामेंटेरियंस लॉ मेक करते हैं। अदरवाइज उनका जो मेकिंग लॉ इट विल बी come under the ground of interpretation by the judiciary through the instrument of judicial review, that law, if it will not follow the constitution of our country, will be declared as unconstitutional, ultra virus and null and void. तो इसी की वजह से हमारे पास जो पार्लियामेंट जो है ऑफ कोर्स एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट पोजीशन को कैरी करता है, पर सॉवरेन नहीं है ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट की तरह। तो एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, इसको याद रखना। सो यू नो इंडियन पार्लियामेंट इट कम्स अंडर द पार्ट 5th ऑफ आवर इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फ्रॉम आर्टिकल 79 टू आर्टिकल 122, where we describe about where there has been a clear description about its organization, composition of both the houses, their duration, sessions, procedures, privileges and most important power and functions. तो इसको आगे जाकर हम लोग देखेंगे। So as far as the organization of parliament, you also know that under the Indian constitution, Parliament of India consists of 3 important parts. Do you know what are these 3 important parts? Yes, the President, the Council of States and the House of the People. Students, यहाँ एक बहुत important questions आ सकता है, तो इसको याद रखना। अच्छा, हमारे जो पार्लियामेंट है कंसिस्ट ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट, लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा। अभी हम इसको लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा के नाम से जानते हैं। 2 इम्पोर्टेंट हाउसेस, लोकसभा को लोअर हाउस कहा जाता है और राज्यसभा को अपर हाउस कहा जाता है। तो पहले इनका नाम लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा नहीं था, तो क्या नाम था? राज्यसभा की काउंसिल ऑफ स्टेट्स एंड लोकसभा की हाउस ऑफ द पीपल। तो इनका जो फॉर्मेशन कब हुआ था, ये भी क्वेश्चन है, एक इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है। तो ये जो 2 इम्पोर्टेंट हाउसेस ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है, इनका फॉर्मेशन हुआ था 1952 में ऑन 3 अप्रैल। तो इसको याद रखना। और उनका नाम, दैट मीन्स काउंसिल ऑफ स्टेट्स एंड हाउस ऑफ द पीपल, दे केम टू नोन एज राज्यसभा एंड लोकसभा इन व्हिच ईयर? यस, इन द ईयर 1954 on 29th अगस्त। ओके, तो एक इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, इसको याद रखना। Thereafter, we should have to understand the Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house of our Indian Parliament, which comes under the Article 80 of our Constitution. Students, इसको भी याद रखो। 80, Article 80 deals about Rajya Sabha and Article 79 deals about what? Lok Sabha. तो Rajya Sabha represents the states and union territories, इसको काउंसिल ऑफ स्टेट्स कहा जाता था। तो दिस हाउस रिप्रेजेंट्स द स्टेट्स एंड यूनियन टेरिटोरीज ऑफ द यूनियन, जबकि लोकसभा रिप्रेजेंट्स द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया एज ए होल, व्हिच इज द मोस्ट पॉपुलर हाउस ऑफ इंडियन पार्लियामेंट, जिसको लोअर हाउस कहा जाता है ऑफ कोर्स, बट दिस इज द पॉपुलर हाउस बिकॉज इट रिप्रेजेंट्स द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया एज ए होल। ओके, thereafter the next important part, that is the president. So you know the president of India is an integral part of parliament, but he is not a member of either of the houses. He doesn't sit, यहाँ doesn't spelling गलत हुआ है, doesn't sit in the parliament floor on the parliament floor to attend its meeting. Still he is an integral part of our Indian parliament. So students, इसको 2 marks questions basis से भी हम लोग जान सकते हैं। Why the President of India is regarded as an integral part of our Indian Parliament, although he is not a member of it? Because he has very important role to summon, prorogue both the houses He has the power to dissolve the Lok Sabha. He has the power to address both the houses of the parliament. He can issue ordinances when they are not in session to meet the exigencies or to meet the emergency situation. So बहुत सारा ऐसे इम्पोर्टेंट रोल है जो कि इंडियन प्रेसिडेंट प्ले करते हैं. So he is of course not the member of both the houses. He never sit on the floor, but he plays a very important role in Indian Parliament in the field of legislation, in the field of finance, in different matters also. We will discuss why we will have the class with regard to the power and functions of president. So in later video you will come to know all these points. So students, you know how he is an integral part of our Indian Parliament. तो यहाँ बहुत सारे important articles आता है, जैसे कि summoning of both the houses of parliament, convening, that means the convening the both the houses of parliament. Who convenes? That is the president. But जो joint sitting बैठता है उसके ऊपर preside कौन करते हैं? Of course, Speaker of Lok Sabha, and this joint session comes under the article 108. इसको याद रखना. And President जो ordinances issue करते हैं कौन से आर्टिकल के अंदर आता है? Legislative sphere में? Yes, in the article 123 to meet the emergency situations. Okay. So thereafter, next come to the next slide. So in this respect, that means the president is an integral part of our parliament. तो ये जो provision है इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, इस provision को हम follow करते हैं ब्रिटिश पैटर्न से, ना कि अमेरिकन पैटर्न से. क्योंकि स्टूडेंट्स आप लोगों को पता है ब्रिटिश पैटर्न को हम लोग फॉलो क्यों करते हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग बोरो किए हैं पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी को फ्रॉम द मदरलैंड ऑफ ब्रिटिश और फ्रॉम द मदरलैंड ऑफ ब्रिटेन. बट इफ यू सी अमेरिकन पैटर्न, देयर इज द प्रोविजन ऑफ व्हाट? प्रेसिडेंशियल फॉर्म ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. और प्रेसिडेंशियल फॉर्म ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी में क्या होता है? हर ऑर्गन ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, दैट मीन्स द 3 organs ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, दे आर नॉट इंटरडिपेंडेंट विद ईच अदर, दे आर सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम ईच अदर. ओके, तो हमारे जो ब्रिटिश पैटर्न को इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में एक फॉलो किए, तो यहाँ हम पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी में क्या देखते हैं? सेपरेशन नहीं देखते हैं. इंटरडिपेंडेंस बिटवीन लेजिस्लेचर एंड एग्जीक्यूटिव, लेजिस्लेचर एंड एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्गन्स की हम इंटरडिपेंडेंस देखते हैं, यहाँ सेपरेशन नहीं होता. दैट्स व्हाई द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया, ही इज एन इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ इंडियन पार्लियामेंट. सो आवर प्रेसिडेंट इज जस्ट लाइक द मोनार्क ऑफ ब्रिटेन, एंड हिज पोजिशन इज जस्ट लाइक द मोनार्क इन ब्रिटेन. The monarch in Parliament of India just like the monarch in Parliament in Britain just like the President in Parliament of India. President of India जैसे कि उनका पोजीशन है पार्लियामेंट में, वैसे ही ठीक पोजीशन कहाँ पर है? monarch in Parliament in Britain. So he is an integral part of our Parliament. The monarch in Parliament in Britain is also an integral part of their parliament, and President of India is an integral part of our parliament. But the US Congress, in US Congress, the American president is not an integral part. He is not a constituent part of their Congress. He is not a constituent part of their parliament. That is known as the Congress. तो समझ में आया स्टूडेंट्स? यहाँ हम लोग एनालाइज किए ब्रिटिश मोनार्क के साथ इंडियन पार्लियामेंट की प्रोविजन को, और यहाँ एक डिस्टिंक्शन देखे हमारे जो पार्लियामेंट्री प्रोविजंस है अमेरिकन डेमोक्रेसी में, अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंशियल डेमोक्रेसी को कैसे डिफरेंशिएट करता है. तो इसके बाद हम चलेंगे नेक्स्ट इम्पोर्टेंट डिस्कशन के तरफ, जहां हम डिस्कशन करेंगे कंपोजिशन ऑफ हाउसेस. पहले हम डिस्कशन करेंगे कंपोजिशन ऑफ राज्यसभा, देयर आफ्टर लोकसभा को. तो as far as the composition of Rajya Sabha is concerned, the maximum strength of this house is 250, out of which 230 are to be the representatives of the states and union territories, while 12 are nominated by the president. इसको याद रखना, maximum strength it has been fixed at how much? 250, 238 members, they are representatives of the states and union territories, but 12 members they are nominated by the president from different distinguished ground, those who have special contributions in the field of art, science, literature, cinema, sports. तो वो डिस्टिंग्विश्ड कंट्रीब्यूशंस, ऐसे ही डिस्टिंग्विश्ड पर्सनालिटीज को हमारे जो भारतीय प्रेसिडेंट हैं उनको नॉमिनेट करते हैं. हाउ मच मेंबर्स दे आर? 12 मेंबर्स. Thereafter, so now of course it has been fixed maximum strength जो राज्यसभा की है 200 fixed, 250 fix हुआ है, but at present how many members are there? The Rajya Sabha 245 members. Of these 229 members they are representing the states, 4 members they are representing the union territories, while 12 members they are nominated by the president. And students, you should have to know which schedule of the Indian Constitution deals about the allocation or distribution of seats in Rajya Sabha. This is a very important question, you should have to understand. तो इम्पोर्टेंट जैसे कि हमारे आर्टिकल्स, पार्ट और शेड्यूल, इसको याद रखना. आर्टिकल 79 से लेकर 122 कौन से पार्ट में डिस्क्रिप्शन हुआ है पार्लियामेंट की, 5th पार्ट में, और कौन से शेड्यूल में डिस्क्रिप्शन हुआ है, 4th शेड्यूल, which deals about the distribution or allocations of seats in Rajya Sabha to the states and union territories. States से कितना representatives आएंगे, union territories से कितना union representatives आएंगे, इस सब कुछ के बारे में distribution of seats के जो provision है कौन से शेड्यूल में डिस्क्राइब हुआ है, 4th शेड्यूल. So 4th schedule it deals about the allocations of seats of Rajya Sabha to the states and union territories. So are you clear in all these points? Okay. After analyzing these compositions and distribution of seats, next we should have to discuss about the composition of next house, that is the lower house or the popular house of parliament, that is the House of the People or Lok Sabha. Okay, its maximum strength is, students, how much? 552. But now at present Lok Sabha has 545 members. Of these, and 530 members they are representing the states, 13 members they are representing the union territories, and 2 Anglo-Indian members are nominated by the president. तो ये जो नंबर्स है इसको याद थोड़ा रखना. 545 मेंबर्स सभी हैं, 13 मेंबर्स यूनियन टेरिटोरीज को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, 530 मेंबर्स दे आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग द स्टेट्स, एंड 2 एंग्लो-इंडियन कम्युनिटीज दे आर नॉमिनेटेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट्स. So as far as the method of election of members of Lok Sabha, there are some important provisions on the ground of which they are elected. So first important provision, that is यूनिवर्सल एडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज, साबालक वोट प्रथा जिसको हम कहते हैं. हर 18 years ग्रुप ऑफ सिटीजन्स और मोर देन 18 years ग्रुप, दे हैव टू एक्सरसाइज देयर फ्रेंचाइज, दे हैव टू एक्सरसाइज देयर सफरेज टू इलेक्ट देयर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, एंड दैट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव फॉर्म द गवर्नमेंट. तो स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ आप लोगों को पता है कि हमारे जो 18 years एज ग्रुप का जो स्टूडेंट्स 18 years का जो एज फिक्स हुआ है सिटीजनशिप के लिए, तो कौन से अमेंडमेंट में आया था, और उस वक्त हमारे प्रधानमंत्री प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया कौन थे? यस, ड्यूरिंग द प्राइम मिनिस्टरशिप ऑफ मिस्टर राजीव गांधी इन द ईयर 1988 बाय द 61st Amendment Act, from 21 age group to it was reduced to 18 years. सिटीजनशिप के लिए एक फिक्स्ड हुआ एज कौन से अमेंडमेंट के अंदर? 61st अमेंडमेंट एक्ट। कौन से ईयर में? 1988 ईयर में। और उस वक्त तो हमारे भारतीय प्राइम मिनिस्टर कौन थे? राजीव गांधी थे। तो फ्रॉम दैट डे Indian citizens, those who are belonging to 18 years or more than 18 years, they are eligible to exercise their political right. That is the right to franchise, right to provide their vote in favor of their own representative. So besides this, there is the provision of joint electoral system. There is the system of reservation of some seats. And you also know that presently 131 Lok Sabha seats has been reserved. Out of that 87 for SC and 44 for ST groups. And thereafter territorial constituencies is there, and there is the provision of direct election for the Panchayati Raj system also. So this is all about the election methods and procedures that has been mainly provided for the Lok Sabha. After discussing this area, we should have to discuss about its tenure. So as far as tenure is concerned, just have a look. I have not written, of course, but just have a look on Rajya Sabha. You should have to know Rajya Sabha, it is a permanent house. Of course, the tenure of Rajya Sabha is 6 years. It never subject to dissolve. एक परमानेंट हाउस किसको कहते हैं? अपर हाउस ऑफ इंडियन पार्लियामेंट, दैट इज द राज्यसभा, और ये डिसॉल्व नहीं होता है। जबकि लोकसभा लोअर हाउस है और इसका जो टेन्योर है 5 years, बट इट्स सब्जेक्ट टू डिसॉल्व। 5 years पहले भी डिसॉल्व हो सकता है। वेरियस रीजंस आर देयर। अगर प्राइम मिनिस्टर की डेथ हो जाती है, उनका रेजिग्नेशन हो जाता है, तो कैबिनेट का भी रेजिग्नेशन एंड डेथ माना जाता है और लोकसभा भंग हो जाता है, क्योंकि प्राइम मिनिस्टर और द कैबिनेट दे आर सेंट्रल टू द लाइफ एंड डेथ ऑफ लोकसभा, एंड दैट्स व्हाई इसका जो 5 year टेन्योर है ये फिक्स नहीं है, ये टेम्पररी हाउस माना जाता है। बट ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ इमरजेंसी इसका जो 5 year टेन्योर है इट मे बी एक्सटेंडेड फॉर 1 year, but fresh elections to the Lok Sabha must be held within 6 months of the end of emergency. It should be noted down here. तो इमरजेंसी के टाइम में इसका टर्म 1 year एक्सटेंड हो सकता है, but fresh elections fresh election to the Lok Sabha must be held within the 6 months of the end of emergency. तो इसको याद रखना। So after discussing this phase, let us come to the next one, that is the sessions of Indian Parliament of both these two houses. And you know, President can call the session of the Parliament at any time, but the gap between two meetings of the Parliament shall not be or cannot be more than 6 months. तो एक साल में 3 important sessions बैठता है, but 2 important session की जो बीच टाइम है should not be more than 6 months. But as you know, as far as the chairmanship of the Rajya Sabha, it is presided by whom? Yes, the Vice President of India. And as far as Lok Sabha, it is presided by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. एंड जॉइंट सिटिंग की जब हम लोग बात करते हैं तो प्रेसिडेंट कन्वेन करते हैं जॉइंट सिटिंग ऑफ बोथ द हाउसेस, ओके। एंड जॉइंट सिटिंग जब कन्वेन होता है तो उसके जो प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर होते हैं वो होते हैं स्पीकर ऑफ लोकसभा अंडर आर्टिकल 108 प्रोविजंस। तो इसको याद रखना। Thereafter, we will move towards the next important study, that is the quorum. Quorum means what, student? The minimum strength of the presence of the members on the floor of the house to transact the business of the house. तो हाउस के बिजनेस को कंडक्ट करने के लिए मिनिमम स्ट्रेंथ कितना होना चाहिए? Yes, according to our constitutional provision, this minimum strength should be 1/10. अगर 1/10 members they are presenting, that means it will be then it will be the ground of holding the session of the parliament or meeting of the Lok Sabha. You have to know this. Thereafter, presiding officer of the Lok Sabha, I have already told you, that is the speaker, that is the presiding officer of Lok Sabha, and the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha is the vice president of India. So as far as the speaker of the speaker की बात जब हम करते हैं, एक वीडियो I will have to provide you. So Article 93 of our Indian Constitution, you should have to understand, it deals about the speaker of the house, that is the Lok Sabha. तो आर्टिकल 93 में ब्रॉडली डिस्क्रिप्शन हुआ है, तो आगे जाकर हम लोग इसके वीडियो भी देखेंगे. तो ये है स्टूडेंट्स बहुत सारा इम्पोर्टेंट पार्लियामेंट्री प्रोविजंस, जहां हम डिस्कशन किए कंपोजिशंस, ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, सेशंस, एंड देयर आफ्टर द tenure, elections methods, procedures, and fourth schedule, and the different allocations or distributions of seats. So on all these grounds we come to know about the parliamentary democracy of India, where Parliament of India plays a very important role in Indian political system. It comes to occupy a very centric position in Indian political system, in Indian democratic system, and its role is very important in our Indian democracy, because the Parliament of India is known as the temple of democracy. It is known as the mirror of our nation. जैसे कि हम मिरर को देखने से हमारे फेस को देखते हैं, जस्ट लाइक दैट अगर हम पार्लियामेंट को देखते हैं तो whole face of the nation, it is reflected one. So it is known as the mirror of the nation. It is called as the temple of democracy. So it is very important role to play to make democracy successful one. So students, hope you understand all these grounds of our discussions. If you find any kind of difficulties in understanding in any aspect of our study, please share with me. I invite all of your doubts, and if you like this video, please provide your likes, comments towards this, how much you are getting benefits out of these videos. Please provide your comments towards this, so that I'll be more aware in my effort. I'll be more sincerely provide you video, and I will be more inspired to do best in my effort. So hope you understand, and see you in next class. I should have to ending this session, and till then, goodbye, have a nice day, and I wish a better health for all of you, and I wish every best for all of you in each and every period of time. With blessings, I'm ending this sessions. Goodbye.